Alright, would you like for me to chop my wheels?
No, sir.
Alright, enter with 3 points of contact. I have 3 emergency equipments. I have a fire extinguisher that's 5 BC rated and dated. It's properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked in or broken. And it's fully charged and is not leaking. In my overhead bin, I got spare fuses. Behind me, under my seat, I have 3 bi-directional triangles that are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked and not broken. And they're used for emergency pullovers. I'll do a safe start the truck. My ABS light came on and it went off, which indicates that that's working properly. I got my driver's side and my passenger side mirrors, which are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no legal stickers to obstruct my view, and they are adjusted to me. My windshield is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no legal stickers to obstruct my view. My windshield wipers and windshield wiper blades are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. My blades are not worn, torn, or frayed. They work on all speeds and they are flush to the windshield. My windshield wiper fluid also works properly. My defrost works properly. My heat works properly, and it works on all speeds. My depth tank is at full. My primary and secondary air gauges are at the 120 to 140 governor cutoff. My city horn works. My air horn works. My right turn signal works properly. My left turn signal works properly. My low beams work properly. My high beams work properly. My 4-way flashes work properly. And that's it for that. Next, I like to do my tug test. In order to do my tug test, my primary and secondary air gauges need to be between the 120 and 140 governor cutoff. As you can see, those are at the 120, 140 shut off. To do that, I'll push my tractor brake in to test my trailer. Gonna drive. Did you feel that tug?
Yes, sir.
Next, I'll push in my trailer to test my tractor. Put my foot on gas. Did you feel that tug?
Yes, sir.
Pull the valves back out. Next, I'd like to explain my service brake test for you. In order to do my service brake test, I will pull forward at approximately 5 miles an hour. I will apply my foot to the brake and come to a complete stop. At that time, if my tractor did not go to the left or the right, those are working properly. Next, I'd like to do my air brake test. In order to do my air brake test, my primary and secondary gauges need to be at the 120 to 140 governor cutoff. As you can see, both of them are at that cutoff. I'll turn the truck off, put the key into the on position, press both of my valves in. At that time, my valves will stabilize. And now I'm gonna do my leak down test. To do that, I will apply my foot to the brake, and as I apply my foot to the brake, I should lose no more than 4 PSI in 1 minute. Will you time me?
Yes, sir. Time.
As you can see, I did not lose no more than 4 PSI in that 1 minute. Next, I will fan down my brakes to 55 PSI. At that time, my low air light buzzer will come on. As you can see, my low air light buzzer has come on. Next, I will fan my brakes down to approximately 4 PSI, and at that time, both my valves will
You
pop.
approximately fan it down to what?
40 PSI.
All right.
Fan my brakes down to 40 PSI, and at that time, both of my valves should pop out. Both valves popped out. That will conclude my in-cab. Would you mind assisting me in checking my outside lights, my headlights, being my high beams, low beams, tail light, or high beams, low beams, left turn signal, right turn signal, brake lights, clearance lights, marker lights, and tail lights.
All right, good job. Now, did we forget the wipers?
Yeah, I didn't say four-way flashers. Okay.
All right, so we get our forward. Did you do the windshield wiper arms and blades?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right, I missed that. All right, good job. All right, so what we doing next?
Getting out the truck with the key in my pocket or my hand or wherever it's at, and stepping to the front of the truck with the examiner.
And getting out with 3 points of contact, right?
Got out with 3 points of contact.
Yes, sir. Let's do that pre-trip.
All right, to start this, I'm gonna look up under the tractor. I see no puddles or anything leaking. That tells me that the transmission engine has no leaks and there's nothing dangerously hanging below. My lenses are all properly mounted and secured. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken. They are all proper in color and fully functional. Over here on my, I guess it's either side, right? The left or the right. Just that one marker right there on the fender.
Okay, you talking about on the driver's side over there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I walk over here. This one's also properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's proper in color and it's fully functional. I look at my hood. I'm off on the passenger side. My general hoses, all of them are properly mounted and secured. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken. Worn, torn, or frayed, and I hear and see no leaks. My coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. The cap is present and it is on tight, and the coolant is at its proper operating level. Walk around to the other side of the truck. My general hoses are all properly mounted and secured, and none of them are cracked, bent, or broken. None of them are worn, torn, or frayed, and I hear and see no leaks. My oil dipstick is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and if I were to check it, I will take the old dipstick out, wipe it off, reinsert it, take it back out, and read it to make sure that the oil is in between the add and the full mark. And then I would reinsert it back. Next is my power steering reservoir. My power steering reservoir is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it's at the proper operating level. The power steering cap is present and it is on tight. The power steering hose is properly mounted and secured. It's not worn, torn, or frayed, and it is not leaking. My shock absorber is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it is also not leaking. My gearbox is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it is also not leaking. My steering linkage is all properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. It has 3 cotter keys and 3 castle nuts. It has no loose joints or sockets. My leaf spring mount, front and back, are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not missing any nuts or bolts. My leaf springs are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and they have not shifted. My brake chamber is properly mounted. My brake chamber and brake chamber clamp are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not missing any nuts or bolts, and they are not leaking. My brake chamber hose is properly mounted and secured. It's not worn, torn, or frayed, and I hear and see no leaks. My brake drum lining, they're both properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. My brake drum has no holes in it, and my brake drum lining is not worn dangerously thin. There's also no contaminants such as oil or grease in between my brake drum and my brake drum lining. My steer tire is evenly worn with a tread depth of no less than 4/32 of an inch. The rest of my tires are all have a tread depth of no less than 2/32 of an inch. My sidewall on my tire has no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. My rim is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It has no illegal welds, and the bolt holes are not elongated. My lug nuts are all present. All of them are properly mounted and secured. None of them have any crack. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken. And there is no shiny threads on the, post on the
Studs.
on the studs. There's no shiny threads on the studs, and there's no rust trails indicating looseness. My hub seal is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it is not leaking. If I had a sight glass, I would check it. My valve stem is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. It is not leaking, and and the cap is present, and it is on tight. My mirror mount is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. My fuel and def tank are both properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not missing any nuts or bolts, and they are not leaking. My fuel and def tank, both caps are present, and they are on tight. My fuel line and my def lines are properly mounted and secured. None of them are worn, torn, or frayed, and neither one are leaking. My DOT reflector tape is present, clean, and clearing, and present, clean, and in proper color. My air hoses are properly mounted and secured from end to end. They are not worn, torn, or frayed, and I hear and see no leaks. My electrical line is properly mounted and secured from end to end. It's not worn, torn, or frayed. It has no exposed wires.
Make sure we mention it's not dangerously dragging on the catwalk.
Yes, sir.
And if you forgot, I don't remember hearing you mention when you did your valve stem by the DOT gauge. I'll check it.
Okay, I don't believe I did.
All right, we'll make sure we give that commentary for that as well.
Yes, sir.
Shock absorber.
I said
He did a shock absorber, but I don't remember hearing the mirror mount.
He did the mirror mount.
He did the mirror mount?
Yeah.
Okay. We just
I-
making sure you're on point, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My glad hands are properly mounted and secured, and my glad hands are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not missing any nuts or bolts, and they are seated properly. And my air lines and my electrical lines are not dangerously dragging the catwalk.
Good job.
My frame is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. And there are no illegal welds.
You mentioned the glad hands.
He just did.
Okay, I missed that.
My lens, that's the top of the trailer. My lens is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's fully functional and properly covered. My trailer apron is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. Properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and there is no gap between my apron and my fifth wheel skid plate. My fifth wheel skid plate is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. My fifth wheel mount is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. My fifth wheel platform is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it's properly positioned to where if I made a left or a right hand turn, my wheels would not hit my landing gear. My fifth wheel release arm is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's in the lock position. My mud flap and mud flap mounts are properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, not missing any nuts or bolts. My DOT reflector tape is clean, present, and proper in color, and it's not dangerously dragging the ground. Go up under the truck. My kingpin is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. And my locking jaws are in the engaged position, locking my fifth wheel, locking my kingpin in. My airbags are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not worn, torn, or frayed, and I hear and see no leaks. My lenses and my reflective lenses are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They are proper in color, and they are fully functional. Turn around. My landing gear is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. My landing gear pads are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're fully raised. Come out from under it. My landing gear crank handle is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any nuts or bolts, and it's stowed away properly. My DOT reflector tape going down my trailer, it's clean, present, proper in color, and it covers no less than 50% of my trailer. Going down, my lenses
Covers at least 50% of my trailer.
Covers at least 50% of my trailer.
Yes, sir.
My lenses are properly mounted, secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're proper in color and they're fully functional. That's the one that's in the middle ways of the trailer. My ABS and my marker light, or my marker lens. Come around to the back of the trailer. My lenses are all properly mounted, secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're proper in color and they're all fully functional. My DOT reflective tape, or all my DOT reflective tape on the back of the trailer is clean, present, and proper in color.
Done?
I think we tripped you up.
Go ahead. What was that?
No, I think you about
I was
to, you
saying,
might be about to
thinking.
catch yourself.
That's what I was thinking. Go ahead.
The battery, when we had stopped.
Yeah, battery box.
All right. So what's the commentary for the battery box?
My batteries are properly mounted, secured, they're not cracked, bent, or broken. They are not leaking. There is no corrosion present, and all my cables are tight.
All right. I think there's only one thing I don't remember hearing you mention, that the fifth wheel is properly lubricated.
I didn't.
All right. All right. Good job, man. All right. Everybody passed that Phantom pre-trip. All right. Good job, guys. Imagine what we gonna do when we get a truck. 1.